Hi kids, welcome to our video about our scientific topic today, which is about polymers. It's real sad that we can't meet you today, so I hope that this video provides like a good substitute. And now we're going to be doing a quick introduction about ourselves.
Hey everyone, my name is Brittany. My major is biomedical engineering. I'm currently finishing up my third year undergrad. I chose to attend college because I enjoy learning and discovering new things. I'm also going to be the first in my family to receive a degree. I chose engineering because in grade school, math and science were my favorite subjects. And I chose specifically biomedical engineering because it allows me to help people that are in need.
Hey everyone, I'm Jericho. I'm also a third year biomedical engineering student. Why did I choose to attend college? Is because I always believe there's room to learn and improve, and college provides more opportunities and connections that would otherwise be unavailable. Why biomedical engineering specifically? I wanted to pursue a career that was medicine oriented without going through med school, and I want to help deliver on the promise of improving people's quality of life.
Hi everyone, I'm Zachary. I am also a biomedical engineering student, and I'm also a third year college student as well. I chose to pursue college because I've always wanted to push myself to always want to push my limits in knowledge and everything. I've always wanted to use my skills and knowledge to help others. And what I've always heard from the job recruiters in those big companies like Apple or Dell or PlayStation or whatever, that they always love to hire people who are willing to push themselves to learn new things and always willing to grow. Now, why I chose to become a biomedical engineer? Well, it started out that my mom is a nurse and my dad is a retired U.S. Air Force. And I wanted to choose my own career where I still get to help people just like my parents did. And since math and science were my strengths in high school, this major brought the best of both worlds.
Hi, my name is Kimberly and I am a third year industrial and systems engineering student. So why did I want to go to college? So one of my reasoning is because I wanted to continue learning. I always loved learning and also to gain new experience in the college atmosphere. So why did I choose engineering specifically? So initially my dream career as a kid was to be a dentist. But the downside of being a dentist is that you had to really have strong will to stand blood, and I couldn't really stand blood, so that my dream just died there. So also in high school, my second career that I thought that I could pursue was engineering, which I end up pursuing now. So the positives of being an engineer is that there's a lot of career options and there's a lot of hands-on activity which I really enjoy, and there's also designing and being able to do things like on products.
Hey guys, my name is Vaisya and I'm a fourth year biomedical engineering student. I went to college because I've always been very inspired to study science, and this branch that I like the most is chemistry. And I also enjoy being in the academic environment. I decided to study engineering because I always wanted to be a scientist, but I also wanted to be hands-on, and engineering seemed like a perfect mixture of that, especially biomedical engineering. And everyone in my family, they were already engineers, so for me, it just seemed like I was destined to become an engineer one day as well.
So what are polymers? Everything in this picture you see right here is a type of polymer. And in the next slide, we're going to go ahead and go into details to the technical definition of polymers. So what is a polymer? A polymer is a chain of repeating units, and these units are called monomers, as you can see in the diagram to the right. It starts off with single units, and then they turn into a forming line. The monomer itself is a molecule that can react with other identical molecules to form these polymers. And in the next slide, we're going to talk about polymerization.
So what is polymerization? So the definition is that it's a process which monomers chemically react with other identical monomers to form polymers. So as you can see in the diagram on the right side, so there are like these bead-like monomers, and then the reaction, which is polymerization, becomes a polymer.
To better understand and visualize polymers, we can look at Legos. So in this image, you can consider the square Legos as monomers and the polymers as the square Legos connected to one another. So if you look at the Legos, the things that are on the top of the Legos are called studs, which are very similar to the bonds between those monomers. In chemistry, this type of bond is called a covalent bond. And a covalent bond is a chemical bond that involves the sharing of electron pairs between atoms.
So the two main types of polymers can be designated as thermoplastics or thermosetting polymers. Thermoplastics soften when heated and harden when cooled, and are reversible and sometimes repeated. An example of which would be plastic water bottles. Thermosetting polymers are permanently hard during their formation and do not soften upon heating. An example of which would be polyester resin, which is found in car body parts.
Yes. Before trying out any experiments in this video, be sure to have your parent or guardian help you. Antes de probar cualquier experimento en este video, asegúrate de que un padre o guardián te ayuden.
And now we'll be heading into a quick video that basically provides a visualization of the polymers itself.
Hi everyone, I am Zachary of the Polymer Group, and today I will be providing a quick demo on polymers. As you can see in front of me, there are two small buckets. One of them is a small bucket of water, and the other one is a small bucket of slime. As you can see in the small bucket of water, it's very loose and sloshy, that if I even shake it in a certain direction, like I shake it clockwise, the motion of the water will move clockwise in accordance with how I swirl in the first place. Now, as you can see in this bucket of slime, it's not exactly solid as a rock, but it's not exactly loose as a liquid either, because if the slime was as loose as a liquid, it would simply break out of my hands and spill into the desk itself. Now, as you can see here, this slime can stretch, but it has a limit to how it can stretch before it breaks from each other. Now, how exactly is slime different from water? As you can see in this paper I provided here, this is basically the chemistry of both water and slime. As you can see in the left side of water, the chemical structure is H2O, and this here is a visualization of H2O itself. The two hydrogens are bonded to the one oxygen. Now, as you can see down below, it may seem a little complicated, but this is just simply how of multiple water molecules binded to one another. Now, moving on to the chemistry of the slime. This monstrosity of a chemical structure of slime, you don't need to worry about it. Just focus on where I drew the red lines here. What I circled with these red lines is the chain of carbon. As you can see here, this is a carbon bonded to a carbon, bonded to a carbon, bonded to a carbon, bonded to a carbon. And this is basically just the mirrored version of this, carbon, 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 carbon. Or as you can see back down here, it's basically just a visual representation of what I just said just a few seconds ago, of like of many carbon molecules bounded together. Because these identical carbon molecules are bonded to one another, this is what is called a polymer, because a polymer is a chain of monomers bonded together. The monomer is a carbon. It's carbon in this case, because it's carbon bonded to carbon, and so forth. And why exactly is water not a polymer? Well, as you can see, what I circled in the red here is basically a chain, but it's not exactly an identical chain though. As you can see here, it's hydrogen bonded to oxygen, bonded to hydrogen, bonded to oxygen, bonded to hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen. And this is basically what I just said just a couple of seconds ago. Hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen. Now sure, you do see a pattern as it switches off between hydrogen and oxygen, but it's not a polymer because this chain here has two monomers. If it was only just one monomer, like for example hydrogen, and it's like hydrogen, 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 then it would be a polymer. But in this case here, it's not a polymer because there are two monomers instead of one. Now you will learn more about this in the future years of science, but this is basically just a quick demonstration of polymers. I hope this is helpful.
All right, and that concludes the video about polymers. I hope that video has been proven helpful to you kids. Now, if you kids remember, there was supposed to be an actual hands-on activity, which for our group, we're going to have you kids actually make slime itself. But because of the evil COVID-19, we are now confined to our houses. So I hope that small video provided like some proven to be educational for you kids. Now here is the worksheet that we will give you kids to work on your own and compete with one another. As you can see, there are two columns of words. The left side is the instructions, and the right side is a long list of polymers. You kids can read it on your own time, but I'll go over the instructions real quick. Now, as you can see in the instructions, the first step is that you have to look at this list of polymers and see if you have those polymers at your home. And as you can see, this worksheet is safe to like play at home and such. It's little scavenger hunts. Now we have made this list of polymers to be pretty big because we want you kids to like work with like many options on the table. Now the second step is to gather all the polymers at a certain spot in your house. Then take a photo with it as actual evidence that you actually have them, that you're not just like cheating or making it up. And count the polymers from your list. Like for example, if I have like 20 fizzy drink bottles, three detergent bottles, and 2 margarine tubs, then my number would be 25. And I hope that example makes sense. Then once you get your number, you kids will have to compare with your classmates on how many polymers you kids got. And the highest number wins. And that concludes the worksheet of our little presentation. And that concludes the actual presentation itself. I hope you kids learned something about polymers, and it is a shame that we could not meet you all in person. I hope this has been helpful. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye-bye.